Okay, well this is a first draft, so I won't worry about quality so much. Need a coffee. I need to turn the fan down. This is the silver service. Silver service. This is, if you could imagine, and I know I'm asking a lot of imagination, but were those to be drivable wheels? Right, so yeah, you've got four motors, great, but then you've got the problem, how do you make them multi-directional? How do you steer with putting power to the motors? With a programmable logic controller is the answer, and we're going to have a look at programmable logic controllers using this toy as an analog, in particular that controller there, and then we'll look at how that works in the physical realm, and then we'll look at how programmatically. Yeah, well, you've got to have a bit of geek. Right, how to make it happen using different methods for the more advanced. So I think what we're doing here is we're using the same video content to create a 9, 10 and 11 years 9, 10 and 11 physics or STEM and we're going to use hobbies, and we're going to use sport and fun, I hope, to solve real world problems, have a bit of fun while we're doing it. But the more juniors will be looking more at the fun stuff. But because it's the same content and same context and same subject matter, then the year 9s can do this with a view on, let's just have a bit of a hit outside and play about. But they'll have a reference here to, I remember when we did that net in year 10, the lesson's more skewed towards the tension and the theory and the physics around it at a year 10 level. But they've had the intro, because they've got this thing out there, and if we need to do any testing, well, here's our laboratory, here's our real, and we're thinking about stuff pedagogically, don't know, but at the end of the day, you're going to get a net and a lesson out of it. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So education is an investment, it's not an expense. It's a capital asset accumulation of knowledge, and it's absolutely pivotal, to the advancement of one's sense of self-worth, self-place, and so on. It's one's capacity to learn and to adapt to the ever-changing world about. Here we have, believe it or not, this is an elevating platform that's a seesaw that is powered by weight, just like a seesaw. So not to scale, conceptual diagram, and I've used roughly to start these three. So a connector is something like an axle or a pivot or a bearing is in purple, a frame is in orange, and a force or the power is in green. So you want to be green powered, roughly, sometimes. I just made that up. So this is the balcony, this small thing, not to scale. So that's miniaturized, that, right? And this is amplified. So we're zooming in on, so we zoom out of the balcony, zoom in on this here, right? That's the bearing, that's the axle there, and that is fixed somehow. I think we haven't decided, so that's that. But it's fixed, okay? And that's an axle, so we're looking right down, so the axle like going along the finger that way towards the back of the wall, right? A pin. And this is this arm here, so there's a pin of this, and you can see that, oh hang on, but that's only short, that's not balanced. And that's right, it's not balanced. So if the bulk of the weight hits here, the weight has to offset the leverage effect. Oh, leverage effect. Yeah, we'll get into that because I haven't read up on that yet. So these are not a pair of people looking at you. See their beady eyes. This is a 360, right? So these things spin. Aha. So what's green? Force or torque. Aha. Right. So I'm looking at that. I had totally forgotten. Real honestly. What the bloody hell? Right. So these things here, I knew that they were spinning, but they are pulleys. They're motors. Now you've got 4 of them, and you've got one motor. Why is it so? You've got a gearbox here. So these can be engaged, and they have a ratchet, like a ratchet strap. What's that? Like that, you know? One way. Where's it going? Wait for it. Right. So you've got 4 of these wheels, and they've got brakes on them. So you wind one up, right, fully back. So you lift a weight with this wheel, right? So you pull a weight up, that's one weight, then you do the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Now those weights might be, well, how much can an 18-volt drill lift? Ooh, how powerful is that drill? Can it lift 40 kilos? Not in one go, but it can lift 10 kilos 4 times. I see what you mean. I see where it's going. Assume that that drill can lift 10 kilos. Now it probably won't. It might be lucky to lift 1. So we look at the specification on the drill and go, well, what do we need? We need torque to lift something that high, okay? And then when it's lifted one weight, we move it to the next wheel. We lift the second weight, that's 20 kilos. So it's 10 kilos once, 20 kilos second time, 30, 40 kilograms. Let's say it's 40 kilograms that we want to lift, okay? 40. What for? Well, shopping. Oh, 40 kilograms. How heavy? Not a person, about half a person. Half a person. So what happens now? Well, you come along, you put your shopping on the platform here, okay, you press a button. Now because that's already done for, when you release it, when you let go the weight, you let 40 kilograms go. You release 40. Okay, you lift up 10 at a time, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then when you let it go, you're releasing 40 kilograms of weight, and when you do that, it lifts up 40 kilograms of weight, bang, and the shopping goes up here to the balcony, and you come out and you get your shopping. Instead of having to carry 40 kilograms, right, so grandma hasn't got to carry 40 kilograms to her balcony upstairs, to her top unit, right, which means if grandma does not have a downstairs, she has to move into a home. Grandma can live at home longer. Happy days, solving real world problems and helping grandma with the shopping on this channel. Jeez, we're good. All right, so yeah, something like that. I've had enough now, I really have, but I'm gonna want one last thing. We've got a ceiling fan here, right? See, there's your 360 spinning, bearing clasp handle. Bearing is purple. Purple is a what? Connector bearing, good. Now you've got bungee straps ×3, and you've got another bearing, yep. Angle, universal joint. Okay, so I can go that way, and it can go this way. So I can go this way, spinny, or it can go this way or that way. Right? One. You'll see these in cars. Have a look at a tail shaft in a car, right? And you'll see one of those. So what's this universal joint doing? Right, this thing here is a broom head or a mop head, okay? That's on a bearing, it spins around. This handle here is on a couple of bearings, it spins. It's somehow attached to the fan. So this thing drops out of the ceiling, hits the floor, right? It's powered by the fan, and it's spinning. right? Now, big deal, if it's spinning in one spot, great, that spot's clean. But how can you get it so that you can, always me elbow and wrist, so it's hanging from the ceiling like this, come down, great, spinning around, round, round. You want it so that it goes that way, okay, and then bzzz, and comes out into the corner, bzzz, bzzz, right? So how do we make this fan? We're not going to use the fan, by the way, it's just in the middle of the room, and we're going to pretend if we had to, right? I've got 3 bungee straps hanging from that over here, and that centres everything, and you hang something off it, great, and it spins in the one spot. But what we're going to look at is how to make a universal joint. So it goes down, it bends, right, and that thing keeps spinning that way, and then it kinks again, and that head is spinning that way, right? And we can move this thing anywhere around here using universal joints, right? And we might be very close to completion of that project. Actually, extremely close, because I've got the weapon of choices here. I may as well go there. Yeah, and as I note, so that's your spinning mop head, spinning, 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 spinning. That's the head there, the orange thing. This thing here spins. So that's the purple connector, right? Then all we need is another one in the middle here, right? And you can see that. So if I spin this here, no, it's not. We need a univert, right? You see what's going to happen. So the idea is to have this shaft spinning, right? And then through here have that spun a 90 off a universal joint. Too technical? Good, that might be a year 11 job. And we'll end it there. I've explained what I've got on my board. I just wanted to clear out that whiteboard. I've done that now. We'll upload this and have it edited where appropriate. Thanks for listening.